Hey guys, it's Lauren. So I am currently at home in my childhood bedroom. I lived in two bedrooms growing up in this house. This is the one I lived in like all of high school. So I'm in my high school bedroom, I guess. This color was really big back then. If you guys have been watching my videos for a really long time, which I don't think any of you have, but I've been making YouTube videos like 12 years. Not consistently, but I have been making them for 12 years, and a lot of my really old ones I filmed in this bathroom. Some of them are probably on private now because they're really embarrassing. But if you didn't know, I'm graduating college on December 12th, so that's in like 2 weeks. So that's kind of crazy. 2 weeks from tomorrow, and I'm nervous and excited. I go through different changes. Like last night at like 1 a.m. I was like, I'm a failure. I'm never gonna do anything with my life. I don't have any plans and I have nothing going for me and I'm horrible. And so that was like 1 a.m. But then sometimes I'm like, I'm so talented. I'm gonna do great things. I'm gonna be awesome. So I have like personality changes every once in a while that dictate how I'm feeling about my future. So last night was I'm a failure and never gonna do anything with my life. And then sometimes it's oh, I will be successful, but you never know which one it's gonna be until it's happening. But now that I'm looking back at the last 3.5 years of my college experience, if you don't know much about me, I took a gap year and worked at Disney World for a year. And then I went to Union University in Tennessee. It's a private Christian school. Quite small, could be smaller, but it's quite small. And the things I'll talk about that later, but that's what I did. And I'm graduating early, so I'm graduating obviously in December. So I finished in 3.5 years. Shout out to my AP classes in high school. They were horrible, but I would recommend taking AP classes if you're in high school. Definitely do it if you think you can handle the workload, because you will save a lot of money. So I wanted to talk about some things I either learned in college or I wish I'd done in college, or things I did do in college that I feel like really helped me. Also, ignore this nail. It is broken. It bent like backwards and snapped off. It was pretty painful, but now it's, you know, the body heals itself, so it's getting better. But this nail will be quite ugly for a while. But anyway, just to start off, one piece of advice. The first thing is definitely get to know your professors. So this is super important because you need to go to their office hours. You need to talk to them one-on-one, maybe introduce yourself the first day of class. I usually introduced myself to my professors. This is something I sort of did, but I wish I'd done a lot more of, is definitely go to their office hours, definitely get to know them, email them, communicate clearly. Even if you're just missing class because you don't feel like going, like still let them know you're not gonna be there. Because they really appreciate that clear communication over anything, because if you just consistently don't show up without letting them know, they're not going to be inclined to give you much grace. So definitely get to know your professors, especially at the big schools, because at the big schools, they're not going to know you at all unless you make an effort. At my school, our class sizes are usually under 30 people, a lot of the times even smaller, depending on the class. So it's a lot easier for you to get to know your professor, but they'll give you better grades if you get to know them. They'll have more grace with you if you need an extended deadline. Like, this is super important. So 10 out of 10, definitely get to know your professors. The second thing is to get involved. So I recommend getting involved in at least 2 things. So for me, I was very involved in my sorority, which is Kappa Delta, and then I also was on the cheer team and a part of student government. So I did 3 things. That's kind of a lot. Just getting comfortable. So I did 3 things, but I think definitely getting involved in at least 2 organizations or clubs, because this is really the best way to meet new people and make friends And honestly, I learned a lot more practical skills through being involved in like my sorority and in these organizations than I did in my classes. Without being on council of my sorority, I would never have learned so many skills that I have now, like how to plan an event and how to be a good leader and how to delegate well and how to lead people with different personalities. So I learned a lot of things from being in a sorority. I recommend Greek life, but I know that's not everybody's thing. But it helped me a lot. This one, the next one, I did not do. So this is to establish a routine. This is very important, and I did not do it. I have a horrible sleep schedule. I would rather stay up till 5 a.m. than wake up at 5 a.m. I'm very much a night owl. I am not good at routine, but I need routine, but I'm horrible at it. So definitely establish a good routine and try and get your work done in the morning / afternoon. Like I'd go home, if I had a gap in between my classes, I would go home and look at my phone or nap. Like I would not be productive. But that's really the best time for you to go to the library and get some work done because you're already doing stuff. So that's definitely something I wish that I'd done, but it's too late now because I have 2 weeks left. Maybe I'll just be really disciplined these last 2 weeks. But yes, routines are very important. Go to bed at a normal hour every night so you can actually wake up for class. And that kind of ties into my next one, which is get a real alarm clock. Don't rely on your phone. If you're like me, I don't wake up to my phone alarm. I turn it off for 30 minutes and I keep turning it off. Do not rely on your phone alarm. Get a real one and put it across the room. And that will definitely, if you're like me and you're a very heavy sleeper and you don't like to wake up, get a real alarm clock. This one is very personal to me, but try not to have too bad of FOMO. And really try and live in the moment and just be appreciative of what you're doing then. So this is something I really struggled with, especially like my sophomore year and somewhat of my junior year. I had really bad FOMO and I would want to do everything. And even if I were doing something fun, if I saw my other friends doing something fun, I would want to do that. So that's something I've gotten a lot better with this year, is just being at peace with whatever I ended up doing. So really try to not have too much of FOMO, feeling of missing out, if you don't know, and try and just be grateful for whatever you're doing in that moment. And something that ties into that is also like make your own adventures. You have to do this in college because otherwise, it could easily be a really boring experience and a sad experience. A lot of people have periods of depression in college, but it's really what you make of it. So be involved, go to all your school events, and really make the most out of your experience. I went to like everything, and I really enjoyed that. I enjoy going to things. I enjoy activities. I personally get really sad and depressed if I'm not being like involved or not productive. So this really helped me. But in addition to that, just not just like going to your things, make your own adventures. Like if you have friends who go to another school, go visit them on the weekend every once in a while. If you have like, I live so close to Memphis and Nashville, I almost never go. I wish I'd just go more. So I recommend this towards your sophomore, junior year of college, because one of my final pieces of advice for your freshman year specifically, do not leave, like ever. Don't go home. I don't care if you live 30 minutes from home. Don't go home. Do not do it. Stay at college for at least the first month and a half. I think they say it's like something like the 30, 60 days, something like that. Don't go home. Stay at school. Otherwise you won't have any friends. It happened to me. My freshman year, I was dating this guy long distance, and I went to Memphis every single weekend, and I had no friends. No good friends at least, because I never had people, like that's when people hang out and do fun things, but I was leaving every weekend. Do not leave, do not leave. My sophomore year, I had such a better time because I was not dating him anymore and I was at school and I actually made friends because I was at school. So do not leave. Ever. Just kidding. You could leave, like if you live really close, like maybe go home on like Sunday and go to church and eat lunch with your family or whatever. But don't go home all weekend. Make friends at college. Make new friends. It's very important. So that's definitely big one. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. It's really just what you make of it though. I definitely think you need to be disciplined and establish a routine. Don't be like me. Don't be like me. Don't stay up till 5 a.m. every night. Me, as I stayed up till 5 a.m. last night. Ooh, but I'm on break. It doesn't count. It does count. It's fine. But yeah. Those are really my biggest pieces of advice. If you're even still in college, try and implement those things. It's never too late to get involved. It's never too late to change things. You can always change things. Like this semester, I said I was gonna have a routine, and you know, that didn't happen, but I always have my post-grad life, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this advice if you're going into college soon, or if you're still in college, or if you're not gonna be in college for years and years and years, you know, just make a mental note and save it for 5 years down the road. But I hope you all have an amazing day, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, have a great day. Bye.